right. So we got half an hour of warm-up. Selected this route, Innsbruck Ring, which is 9 kilometers long. And the plan is to finish this and get the route badge for this one, hopefully. So we're not 100% health-wise. So this is it's gonna be a test for us. Let's see how we're doing. It's gonna be a really big group in the sea ride from the crit race. So after the warm-up, we'll head back there and look how much people actually showed up. But for this moment, we will be well over 100 people in the C class alone, which will mean there will be a very, 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 very heavy competitive start and a lot of sandbaggers. So we'll see. For now, let's just focus on the warm-up, get the heart rate a little bit up, because that's what made it really heavy last time. 2 days ago, we started with no warm-up at all, and I was really whiffed out from the start. Felt like my head was exploding the first round from the last crit race we did. We did one with 14 laps, then the day after we did one in 10 laps. Today we're doing the normal one, 8 laps, and we're doing the bell lap, which means a little bit of a longer climb, but the rest of the track is pretty smooth. The important thing is to catch the wheel once we're on top of the hill, catch the wheel on the downhill and then stick there for the rest of the track. And depending on how big the group is, that might sometimes be a hard challenge, because even if we start 100 people or more, that means the front group will be at least 30 people or more. And I'm expecting quite a few sandbaggers in there who are hiding away from their real category. I don't really mind, but it makes it really, really hard just to stick in the group. So the first thing is stick with the front for the first lap, maybe the first 2 laps, and then suck in those wheels as long as and as good as we can. Yeah, hopefully even have a sprint in us, but yeah, today, like I said, not feeling 100%. My breathing is not 100%. So Hopefully we don't blow up like yesterday. We still did manage to get second, I guess. I have to take a look. Pretty curious if the other ones got disconnected. That's why I'm taking a look. Let's see. Can you join me on this one? Yeah. I'm just because they were doing high wattage. I'm curious if Swift Power changed my position afterwards or they didn't. So it really whiffed out. No, they didn't change it. So they allowed these wattages, 3.4 and 3.5 average. Because they don't raise that often, they're not promoted yet. That's why they stay. It's no problem, but these are really, really good results for them. The problem with the last two crit races, well, in my case, the problem was the A, B, C, and D riders all started at the same time because it was a different event than the standard one. It was longer, 14 laps and 10 laps. So you wanted to save a little bit on the climb, but you cannot save more than the group allows you to, of course. And the starts were so incredibly strong and hard as a C rider. You want to stick in those wheels of the B's and the A's as long as you can, because the longer you stick with them, the more easier it gets or the better your position is afterwards. So you are almost guaranteed podium position if you stick with the group, the B's for a few rounds. That's why the start is that important. If everybody's starting together, and it's a little bit like real life, you know, you're riding with the best, so you see your actual fitness level. But on the other hand, I like the challenge of competing with people who are around the same fitness level as myself. So I really like the races where the C has a separate start. Well, every category has a separate start, because then it's more fun for everybody, right? Okay, the A's, they probably race, they like to race more with everybody starting together because they feel better about themselves. But yeah, C separate is quite important for me. So in this case, we'll have it. We'll have. You always have a few sandbaggers, but I do know from experience on the crit race, the sandbaggers, if they're not too many, they tend not to ruin the race. Last time we did, it was crazy. We had 80 people in the C category, and 30 people were over category limits. 30 people. That's crazy, right? I was the first one. I came in 20th of the C category yesterday. And I was the first one within category limits. It's crazy, right? You can see I got a bronze medal. And second and third are quite well above category 3.4 and 3.5. 3.5 is already halfway down the beast, right? If you can push that average in a climbing race, you're a B rider. But on a crit race circuit, it's quite forgiving. With my power and weight ratio, it's easier for me to stick with them with a lower watt per kilo average, which is what we want. So crit race will be one of the first races if we get a little bit better, where we can try some BCAT races. And yeah, once I'm thinking about maybe joining the BCAT, I might just do more races where A, B, C, and D start together, because it's all mixed up there, right? So actually, if you want to compete with the A and the Bs, those races are the best. But it's better to start in one category higher, because like the A's and the B's, last time they started in front of the C and the D's. That means as a C rider, you actually had to start even faster than the A's. And they ruined the race because if you find a group and you're sitting comfortably in that group because there's nobody attacking, and then all of a sudden there's like 10 or 15 A riders blasting through that group. They pull the group, they stretch it out, and then everything goes to waste. It's a little bit cooler than last time, so hopefully we'll be able to cool ourselves down a little bit in the race. It's 8 laps, so that's more comfortable. So yeah, we're ticking most of the boxes at this point to have a decent race. We are a separate category start in the C's. We have better cooling, we feel better, and yeah, that's about it. The things that are against us is we're not 100% at this point. Let's get the heart rate up a little bit. restart my heart rate watch because I was doing more than 100 beats per second. Come on. Okay, let's give it a sec. So yeah, I'm expecting a fast race. Let's restart this again. Oh, hence the warm up. This will not be a good reason this time to say we failed. So we're hoping that the front group is around 20-25-ish people, and then be a little sprint of the first climb, and hopefully after that it cools down a little bit so we can find our momentum. But the bigger groups, mostly the bigger the group, the harder the pace. So it will be fight for every round just to stick with the front and hopefully stay there until the end. I'm not sure if I have this badge already from this route we're doing in this moment, but looked like the perfect warm-up round. I think it's 8.8 kilometers for the badge, which is kind of perfect since we're always almost there already. There we go. I'm really hoping to be strong enough today to stick with the front until the finish. It would be nice to have a sprint finish, but we are gonna have to work for it if you want to be there in that position. And if not, no harm's done, means it wasn't our day. The biggest achievement is being on the bike already and trying and being healthy enough to even try in the first place. Breathing wise, we're feeling pretty good at this point. With the warm up in the back. there's the finish. So if we haven't had the route back before, we'll have it going over that line. And get some XP. Hey, there we go. Nitro-Green route complete. 170 experience points for free. That's equivalent of about is it 17k or 9.5? Depend. I think it's 10 experience per full kilometer, right? Let's see in 500 meters. So that means just doing this lap, we get a 17-kilometer bonus. Which is quite a lot. It's quite a lot. Last year on stage 4 of Tour de Watopia, not the last Tour de Watopia, but the one before that, last year. Stage 4 was a volcano Watopia flat race. It was a race, not that long, around 25-ish kilometers, but there were like 3 banners where you have to come through, and each banner gave you 250 experience. So you gained like 750 experience just completing that race. So if you wanted to level up, that was the race to be, right? Because you got 750 XP from the race bonus, and then the race bonus, the race points itself, which was another 250. So each race gave you about 1000 experience. So each race gave you the equivalent from 100 kilometers of cruising, and you got that in like 30 minutes, which was awesome. 30 minutes riding instead of 3 hours. I'll take it. I knew I did that race 2 times then. Knowing what I know now, I might do it more. Woo! We've ridden 100,000 drops as well. Thank you very much. So we got that out of the way as well. 250 kilometers we had to do in the first 14 days, and we did it in 10, so perfect. And we got that 100k drops, so we'll be in the 3 million soon. So we'll go to the starting line 5 minutes in advance just to avoid any more problems. But now we're riding here. We want to just get the most out of it. This falls flat is always pretty hard in races. It looks like it's totally flat, but if you're in a group, you need to keep power on the pedals or you will get dropped. As you can see in the top right, there's 2% incline. 3 more minutes before we go to the start line and take a look at our competition for the day. It's the bell lap, so I'm thinking we're averaging about 2 minutes 45 seconds per lap, especially if it's a bigger group. The bigger the group, the faster the laps most of the time. So we'll probably do around 22 minutes for the total of 8 rounds. And then it all depends on the race dynamics. Do we have that fast start and then that cool down in the middle to be built up again towards the end? Do we have an all-out effort, 8 rounds going Chernobyl style? I would say there's a possibility that everybody's just chilled out, but yeah, that's not gonna happen with 100 people or more starting in the CCAT. There's no time for chilling there. We've had that a few times, a couple of months ago before the lockdown, when we had a day ride and there was only like 20-25 people starting in a C category race. If you have like a fast start, you have like a group of 5, maybe max 10 people, you might see a really calm race for the next couple of rounds, and then the last 2 rounds will be fast. But in bigger groups that's never happening. Not a chance. We just hope that the fast start calms down just before we blow up. That's the most important part. That means we'll be in the wheels and we can recuperate a little bit on the easier parts, which is just behind the downhill. Then we have like 20-30 seconds where it cools down just a little, and then the climb starts again. The climb is pushing, it's always pushing. Climb is never easy. You have to push over the top to get those wheels on the downhill. And then you think the downhill is gonna give you a break, but it's actually not, because you need to build up the speed, and if you don't do that, you will be dropped. So you go over the top and then on the downhill, and then near the end of the downhill, that's where you can shake off those legs a little bit. Let's go for 14k. 14k even sounds like a good number to complete our warm-up. We got the batteries, which is fun, we wanted that. Looks like the climb is starting again here though. So that's the last 400 meters will be going pretty slow. 100 meters. There we go. Oh wow. Oh wow. What a group. This is... We're 4 minutes out and we're already 100 people. I'm pretty much near the back already. Wow guys. This lockdown thing, this is crazy, man. Normally a Friday noon ride will be 50 people max. And we're 100 already. This will be really fast start. I'm really gonna have to push hard to go to the front and to stick there for a while. Dear Lord. Dear Lord. So most of my predictions go, the group will split at least in half after one lap. So, but if that happens, that means we're still like 50 people for the first group. So there might be some crazy sandbaggers that form their own group in the front, right? That might just happen. Basically, we want to push hard on the first lap, push hard on the first climb, and then hopefully while descending on the first climb, we are near the front. And if we're near the front, we are good to go. If we are not near the front at that point, yeah, we'll just find a group and do our best, I guess. That's all we can do. Damage control. We're pretty far in the back, so the start is gonna sting really hard. Look, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows of people in front of me, and on each row there's like 7 people. That means there's 50, 60 people in front of me, which I have to take over. $126. This is one of the biggest crit races I've done since, well, C-class separately, 130 people. One of the biggest I've done since I've started racing on Zwift. So I'm not really sure what's gonna happen. I think the first group will be pretty big, and hopefully the draft will keep us good, I guess. Let's start pedaling, 30 seconds to go. We really need to nail this start. That's one of the most important things. Catch your breath and get those watts going for the first minute or two. Wish us luck, guys. We'll do that, man. That's it. Nice power, guys. Oh, that's exactly what we needed. Doctor, thanks for the follow, man. Oh my god. We are happy with our power though. We're so close to that 300. 3.3 watch average. Oh. Yeah, the front group was fast. Had to work a lot, close some gaps, cost me some energy. Tried to go to the front, so I made a smart race. So I did a smart race where on the weaker points I pushed, so I was in the front. So I had a little bit of recuperation on the bad parts. which worked sometimes because I felt in 2 or 3 laps when I crossed the finish line, I recuperated, so that's a good feeling. So you can start fresh on that climb each time. But yeah, made a few efforts that cost me good energy, although we always managed to close them. I think on the second to last lap, I had to let the front group go because of we had a little bit of the same problem than going with the A's and the B's. If you're this big of a group, you will be lapping people and groups. So at some points, those people they disturbed the feeling, because sometimes you don't know that a gap is there once it's too late. But overall, yeah, I missed that little extra in the end to stick with the front, but we did have a good time. We did low 21 minutes, which is a really fast pace. I think my average round was about 2 minutes 35-ish, and 2 minutes 32 is my fastest lap ever. And that is with the big sprint in between, so that means that you can see the group and the pace was really, really fast. Not a lot of time for recuperation. You don't need that much time for recuperation, but you need to be ready for that next climb every time, because yeah, that's where the attacks happen. And for me, more important, it's not the climb, because on the climb I most of the time can come back because of pure power. It's because of the rollout after that. If I went too deep on the climb, then I want to recuperate on the downhill, which is mentally where I should rest as a bigger guy. But in Zwift, and especially in this crit race, this is not the case. I need to pace myself up the climb so I have enough energy left for the downhill, because the downhill at some point he loses the advantage of the draft and your guy goes in sort of a tuck mode, and that's the point where I always lose my momentum. So if I'm really strong, I can push there, and then I'm stuck in the wheel on the rollout. If I'm a little bit weak or I went too deep on the climb, that's where I have to be mentally strong to just give that extra touch, so I get back in that wheel after the downhill, because you need that wheel going into the next lap. That's the point where I have to rest. And if you don't have the wheel, then you have to work to get in the wheel, and yeah, you don't have recuperation for the next climb. So most of the time that is what happens near the end, because I'm getting fatigued. I don't have that extra touch. I gamble, and sometimes I win and sometimes I lose. And if you lose, you either get mentally strong and get back in the wheel and try. But yeah, most of the time you are gonna see them right away, slowly but surely. And then it's every man for himself. We will get top 3 position on Zwift Power for sure. There was only one guy in front of me that was close to the wattages required, and then was the guy just in front of me who was doing 3.4 watts a kilo. So if he is registered in Zwift Power, he will probably get gold and I get silver. Let's have a quick look. if the results are there yet. No, they're not. I do wonder why we didn't get a new FTP though. 290. Good, right? To be honest, not feeling 100%. This felt really as a good race to feel better about myself. I really do. This time we got a good warm up going. We got 14k in Innsbruck. We had a little climb. We pushed our heart limit a little bit. So we did 30 minutes of warm up and then 21 minutes 23 seconds, which is really fast, guys. That's a really fast pace. We actually did 21 minutes and 5 seconds. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. That's for the C class. That's amazing. That's really amazing. Most of the time, that's really fast, guys. What the fuck? Average 45.4 kilometers an hour. Average 292 watts. Say what? Where can I see my FTP in game? Can we see it here? We could see it before. Can we see FTP here? No. We have to open the game to see FTP. Weird. This is fast, guys. 21 minutes and 5 seconds. I just want to see if my FTP is up to plus 292 watts. It was my average in 286. Ooh. So 290 watts, 2-minute power. Skip. Okay. And that's so much energy required just to see my in-game FTP. Oh my god, this should be so much easier. 278? No. Why didn't it update? It says here in Strava that my new FTP is 290, and it didn't update in game, which is not cool. Not cool at all. This is awesome, guys. I'm really happy with that. Show me results. Okay, guys, the results will be for the next day, but yeah, we averaged 3.3, which is certain. The only thing I wanted to know is to see my average watch as we were towards Zwift power counts, which should be 290. If it's 290, I can change I can leave my FTP in game changed. I just don't know why it didn't automatically update in game because it was showing there as well, right? But we did a really nice race. Um, we managed to get top 10 from 130 people. 130, yeah. So top 10, 130 people is insane. That's a really good pace. And then if you saw the wattages that the other people were doing, they were in the high fours. So can be feeling bad about that. That they got away. No problem. We had a really good race. Um, really felt strong. My legs were really strong today. Um, yeah, awesome, 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 awesome race. Thank you so much for being here. The Tree Doctor, thank you for the follow, man. I'll go to your profile right now and I'll refollow you. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I see you guys soon.